Welcome back, everybody. My name's Dale, and this is LackLuster Gaming, the show for those who love to game but know they're mediocre at best. And before I get started, just a quick channel announcement. We are now, from this day forward, going to switch to every other day videos just until we get set up in our new residence in Colorado. That will be about 2 weeks, so stay tuned. Stick around, it's coming back, and we're coming back twice as strong. So, let's get into today's deck. So I'm bringing back another deck directly from the leaderboards, just so you guys can check it out. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and this is a deck that PONG TV has been using, and he's in the top 100, so I figured it might be a little bit of fun. It's a little bit different than what you're normally seeing in the meta, and the meta decks are just really overpowered and everything. But check this out. We're going up against a Sparky, which has been making a massive comeback over the past month, but this deck has a Rocket, so it's a great counter to the Sparky. It's a Mortar deck. It also has a Miner and the Tornado, so it's kind of like a Miner Mortar control deck, which is a lot of fun. This guy places a defensive graveyard on my Mortar, hoping to distract it, but they are just too close, and the range of that Mortar just does not capture those little tiny skellies right next to it, and I think it might have been placed just a little bit late, and those archers luckily lock on to that Inferno Dragon. He's got an Ice Wizard coming in. I placed down my Ice Wizard as well. If you don't have the Ice Wizard, you can use the regular Wizard, even though it is 2 elixir more. It's a little bit expensive. I would probably suggest using something a little bit cheaper, maybe like the Spear Goblins or something, and obviously if you don't have the log, use the Zap. So, already we've gotten the tower down quite a bit with just a couple small pushes, and we've been able to defend. That is the key to this deck, is defense, defense, defense. I've got nothing to play there. I found myself a few times in that situation where I really didn't have anything to play. He drops the Sparky again. I don't know why he would do that, because that Rocket is just gonna take him out and her out. I don't want to go assuming genders when I absolutely know that Sparky is a female, but check it out. The Rocket took out the Sparky and was able to take out the rest of that tower's health. So boom, now he's left defending against a Mortar on the opposite side, which is great because he's got no damage on that tower, not like he's got any damage on the opposite tower, and a very late and poorly placed Tornado on our opponent's side. So it's kind of interesting to see the Tornado coming out so much. I've been using a Zap Bait deck recently because I do so well with Zap Bait decks. They're just like my forte, my taste, you know what I'm saying? And I've been seeing a lot of Tornado to counter me, so that's kind of interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and place another Mortar and check that out. That Mortar is gonna do great work on those two wizards right there. I mean, the splash damage was increased in the last balance changes, so it's very, very nice to be able to use that Mortar and to be able to hit a card or a troop that is right next to the opponent's tower and be able to do damage. And check it out, our opponent has given up. We've got 2 Mortars on the tower, boom, boom, and bah! Almost got the 2 crown, but let me tell you, that's a little bit rare. The 2 crown wins with this deck. It's a pretty defensive deck, so you end up winning most of your victories with 1 crown. It's true, 1 crown. Why is it so long? All right, we're back. So now into the second battle. We have an interesting opening hand. We've got the Ice Golem, so I like to set up some kind of a slow push if right in the beginning. So I use my slow cards like Split Archers or an Ice Golem in the back. This time, I didn't split the Archers because he split his Archers, and check it out, we're going up against yet another Sparky deck. So of course, what are we gonna do? We're gonna Rocket it. That's right. Boom. So he's going to elect to log against my Ice Golem and Archers and pretty much almost take them out, and we're going to drop this Mortar, and boom, that Ice Wizard is going to protect our Mortar against the Skarmy. We're going to go ahead and log. I should have waited just 1 extra second and taken out those Archers, but it's okay because we've slowed them down just enough, and unfortunately, we're not going to get too much damage with that Mortar. Maybe we can get, nope. I thought he was going to get 1 more shot off, but was unable to do so. But we've been able to do some pretty significant damage to the tower without taking any damage ourselves. So, again, we're just going to start off the same exact way. If it worked once, it should work a second time. So the ice golem in the back, and this time we're waiting to see, and he drops a giant. So he knew that his first attempt failed, so he's going to try something else, which is great. We're going to slow down that Mega Minion, and hopefully we'll be able to save that mortar and get one shot off, at least on the giant. But no, it actually locked onto the tower, so we get 2 shots off on the tower. Ice Wizard is doing some pretty impressive work slowing down that giant. We're going to place down the Ice Golem to block supporting troops from damaging our defensive troops, and the archers and the Ice Wizard, along with our arena tower, are just going to shut down that whole giant push altogether. So the defensive capabilities of this is amazing. The Ice Wizard, realistically, I mean, I know I said you could change it out if you don't have it, but it's pretty imperative to be able to slow down some big tank pushes like that. And this time he changes every time. He changes his play style instead of doing the same thing over and over again. And a lot of people down lower in like Frozen Peak, the people that are stuck down there are the ones that don't change their attack strategies. You have to change your attack strategies if it didn't work the first time. You gotta just try, even if it's just something as small. Look at that rocket. That is a value rocket. I am sorry, I just had to mention that. But if something's not working, if a push is not working the way you normally push it, you gotta change it up. You gotta change up the placement of your troops. You gotta change up the rotation of your troops. Try to outcycle your opponent, things like that. So here we go. We're getting close. We got the opponent's tower down to about halfway. We've got incoming archers. We'll stop them with the Ice Golem, and we'll take out his Ice Wizard with our own archers. And once that Ice Golem pops, it takes out his archers. And now our archers are slaughtering his archers, and the log will take out that Skarmy. So we get to do a little bit of damage, but not as much as we wanted to, but slowly chipping away at this man's tower. And we've got the Ice Wizard coming in. That will stop the Mega Minion. We're going to put the Ice Golem back behind just to make sure he stays safe, because he is, like I said, a very good component to have next to your mortar. We're going to go ahead and rocket all of that. Unfortunately, that rocket did miss the tower. That was my bad. I could have ended the game pretty early if that weren't the case, but we're going to go ahead and log all of that just to get the Skarmy out of the way, because that could pose a problem in the future. Place the Ice Golem up front with the defensive troops in the back. He zaps and takes out one of the archers. So we're almost in a little bit of trouble, but whoop, 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 whoop. With that tornado, there it is, sucks it all back and kills it all. Now, the rocket for the win. Just like that. Oh man, it's so good. And I had that tower down actually within rocket range, but I just had to defend for a while before throwing it out. So now into round 3 of the Classic Challenge, just to show this deck's capabilities. Another interesting opening deck, but again, we're going to start with a slow-moving card. So the Ice Wizard in the back, he goes with the Hog Rider. Now the Ice Wizard will be able to slow him down, so he only gets 1 hit. 2 hits, he freezes my archers, so he's able to actually get 3, almost 4 hits in. But now check it out, he's wasted 8 elixir, so now I've got 10 elixir on the board. I'm using my rocket. A lot of people, yes, there it is. A lot of people are defending with their elite barbarians, which is no problem because you have the rocket, and the rocket not only takes out the Sparky as we saw in the previous 2 battles, but it also destroys those elite barbarians for an even 6-for-6 trade. So not too bad, not too shabby. There we go. We've defended quite nicely. However, we are at about a tie at the moment. So both towers on my side and our opponent's side have about equal damage, and we're just waiting to build up elixir, seeing if our opponent tries to push again with the hog. There it is. All right, so we are going to try to pull that hog to activate our king tower, and boom, there it is. So another great thing to have this actual, this is actual gameplay. This is not trying to set something up like OJ does, where you're trying to show the capabilities of something, but this is actual in-game play from a Classic Challenge. So he's got 1 tiny minion on the tower just doing tons of damage, but that's okay because look at this push. Look at this push. Look at that push. That's insane. We've got the mortar locked on, which is amazing, and we've got a bunch of troops right up in front defending, and that ice golem is just not going to do enough work. We're going to log all of it away, as well as that musketeer, so it doesn't lock onto that mortar. And man, we're just doing pretty good. Now we've got this hog rider. We're going to place down this ice wizard over on the side because we now know about its freeze. We're going to try again to do that tornado. The freeze comes extremely late, and he froze in the wrong portion. That's why I always switch up my archers' locations, especially playing against a freeze deck. You gotta change up your troop positions. And there we go. Sorry about the mic smack, but hey, here it comes. The ice wizard is slowing down that musketeer. The mortar takes it out, and there we go. We gotta log away those elite barbarians. We're going to place the ice golem in the front just to tank the ice wizard, and the archers are going to take those out. Of course, here comes the freeze, but we're going to hold them off in the back with the tornado spell and the log while that freeze loses its effect. And now we are pretty close to the end of this match. All we've got to do is defend. So we place a mortar right next to the tower to defend for us, and there you go. Game over. Now, I did lose quite a bit with this until I got the hang of it. It took me quite a bit of time to really fully understand the deck, to the point where I was getting consistent back-to-back wins. But give the deck a shot if you've got the cards to do it. It's a lot of fun. Big shout out to Pong TV. Met him at the King's Cup back in November, and for supplying that deck and for creating it. And as always, guys, I love you. I'll see you in 2 days. See you in 2 days.